YouTubers, Brian Proctor back again with another video, and this one we're going to do something different. So welcome to Drawing 101. Now this one I'm entitling How to Create a Pose, How to Create an Action Pose. Something, I don't know, I'm still working on it. None of this stuff is scripted out, but you'll see the title. But the thing that I thought about, I was sitting here and I thought about it. I don't like to just put anything up. I want to put stuff up that's useful and helpful. And I was going to do a speed drawing, but I just came up with this idea just thinking about it. And I'm still going to do a speed drawing, but this one I'm going to show you how to start drawing action poses yourself. Because a lot of people are drawing their characters and you have to go out and look for a particular pose that you like or that might suit you or whatever. But I'm going to start showing you how to start drawing your own poses, because as I say in a lot of other videos, there are not many new poses out there. We tend to like a certain particular book, Spider-Man, Batman, or whatever, and every character has a signature pose or their signature move. So we see that over and over and over, and then we relate that to, we see another person draw that pose, we say, oh, he got that from such and such. Like Iron Man, when Iron Man first came out, he had that where he dropped to the ground and had that other hand up. So every time you see that pose, you're like, oh, that's Iron Man. So yeah, this video is going to be about creating your own poses. This is the first step to starting to draw yourself from your imagination, with your skills. So the first thing we're going to start out with is the torso. The torso again, yes, the torso again, because the torso is basically the engine for the car. It is the wall, the brick for the wall. So without the torso, you really don't have anything. So let's start this, and you stop looking at my hands. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to imagine this right here, this little cylinder, and it has a stripe across it. Okay, that's easy to see. Now, if you let's do this. Let's put this. And as I said, none of this is scripted. This is coming off the top of my head because I do my best work when it's fresh in my mind. All right, so we have this. This is going to represent your torso, because this is one of the most important parts of drawing an action pose. Now, because you can see the top of this, your eye level is above it. You wouldn't be able to see the top of it. If not, I'm going to start drawing dark, because this is not something I'm going to ink. I want you to see it. So when you shift this, or when you bring your eye level down, this will look like this. And this is straight in front of you. Even though it is a round cylinder, when you bring your eye level down to here, it's going to look like that. If you bring your eye level down to here, it's going to look something like this. And that's something like this. It's going to look like this. And the roundness of this determines the roundness of that, because I can't do this and have it like just a little round there. That's where a lot of new artists or beginning artists mess up when they try to do something that's round. They'll have a nice round shape here, and this one will be kind of flat, or it won't be as round. It has to be as round as this. So you have to start working on that. It's like if this was a wrist and you put a wristband or a watch or something on that person's wrist, you can't have the watch go like this, or that wristband. You'll see it and you'll say, something's wrong and I can't figure it out. And that's some of the things that you have to start seeing with your eye. If you know something's wrong, or you kind of figure something wrong, it probably is. Most likely it probably is. You just have to be able to figure out what it is. So your pose determines, your view determines your pose. So as I say, this would probably be somewhere down here, because you're looking, you'll be able, no, I'm sorry, this will be down here because you're looking up at the thing. So yeah, your what did I just say? your view determines the pose, or your pose determines the view, hand in hand. All right, so now that you understand that without me screwing it up, this is basically, as I said, is representing your torso. So if your torso turns, and I'll continue to use this one I guess. If your torso or your eye level, from where you are standing, if this was your eyes, this is what you would see. This is your eyes. And this is why they call it the eye line, because this is the line that your eyes would be if you were standing there. So if your eyes are right here, and it would actually be about right here. I want everything in front. So this is going to be your eye line right here. This is going to be right between your eyes. This line. So that's kind of close. So it's going to be down here. So that's going to be right between your eyes. So now if you shift it over, this would be like this and down. So your eyes are going to be here. You kind of understand what I'm saying? So if you did this, draw a little darker. Your eyes will be over here, between that. Now, what I'm trying to do is to get you to understand the view of moving this cylinder, barrel, whatever, and what that line would take. So if you did and this would be more of a kind of hardcore, like that. That line will probably be here, since it's centered. And then let's say put the other line right here. You'll be like way down here somewhere. Now, all right, I want you to kind of get that in your head, because now comes the fun. If you could imagine these barrels, I'm going to say barrels, they're drums, barrels of oil, whatever. If you can imagine these as your torso, then you're off to a great start. So, same thing, you start out, whenever you draw, start out with that torso. So instead of round like that, we'll do oval. And again, with the line. So if you do your line right here, your action line or your direction line, that means that person is turning this way. If you do it here, and I'm covering the bases before we move quickly. And as I said, this is like off the top of my head, and I want to make sure everything is covered. And if we put that line here, that means this person's torso is turning that way. It doesn't necessarily mean his face is turned that way, but his body is turned that way. Or the biggest part of his body, the torso is turned that way. So, with your collarbone, okay, your collarbone, that's step 2. And as I said in another video, there are 6 steps to drawing a torso, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it 7? 1, you draw the oval. 2, you draw the direction line. Most important, whenever that person turns, let me get this little dummy here. This is his direction line. This is that center line. Whenever he turns his torso, that center line is going to turn. All right, now that center line is always going to come down and twist to the center of that crotch. You see this line, the way the stomach is? That's what's going to happen when you turn. So you have 1, 2, 3 pieces of the body. These are the main 3 pieces. Remember that. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're just drawing your oval, and your T. Now after that, you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you want to do the U. If you can't do a U, do a V. V, upside down V, or a triangle. Now, because when you start turning it, it's going to be harder to do U's. So it's just easy for some people to do a triangle. So after that triangle, this point where this line touches that circle and where this line touches that circle, you're going to do a line. It could be straight up and down, or it could be curved in a little bit. I like to curve mine in. Same thing for here. Where this touches that and that touches that, draw that. Now, that's your basic torso. If you get this right, then all your positions should come out right, 90-some%. Now, of course, you notice you have this extra piece over up here. This line, bring this line up through this. This is going to represent your shoulders, but you're going to make the shoulders a little bigger. But you bring that line up through there, and that is your that is the center of where your neck is. Let me see if this some of these pins are right. Now, from this point, and I'm using black because I have got a lot of red up here, you're going to make a V. And that's going to determine the thickness of your neck. And then you go up. So basically, at this line and that line, that circle, that's where you start to go up. And then from there, I usually put my chin to touch the top of that line here. This line comes all the way around. I put my chin here unless the person is looking down or up. If he's looking straight at me, then I'll do that. And then your head. Now you notice my jaw and my neck line up. That's a good thing to do a superhero because it makes it look stronger. Now that we have the torso, you got that part. More paper. How many steps did I say? Was it like 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 steps, okay? We're not talking about the neck, we're just talking about the torso. 6 steps to make the torso. Anytime I turn that torso, this line is going to turn regardless of what direction I turn it into. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one's already there because it's already turned. The same amount of curve this should be 2. So here and here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So now we're getting a torso. So now this line, this collarbone, means that your eye level is basically right with this collarbone because you cannot see above that collarbone. So just like that can or drum, if you start to raise your eye line up on here, or if you're starting to see above your character, 1, 2, yeah, we'll go straight. Now, okay, let's do this. 3, because I'm going to change it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I start to lift or tilt this character forward like this, and I'll use since he's sitting there. If you see this, if he's standing here, my camera, and I said that before, my camera likes to go light and dark for some strange reason. It's just weird. So anyway, if you see this person, if he's standing here, his collarbone goes straight across. Now, once this person, or once he starts to lean forward, you see that bit of a V, and it would actually make more of a triangle or diamond. The more you lean forward, or the more your character is drawn forward, the more of a diamond he's going to make. So we have this. He's leaning forward. He's going to start making that diamond shape. Now, if he leans forward more, you have to take this oval, and this oval kind of flattens out. It's not going to be a complete oval. You're going to have to flatten it out. So if this is the oval, and it leans forward, you're going to have to kind of flatten this out more like this. Or should I say, if the oval's like this, turn the oval like that. So he's going to have to flatten more. The more, as I say, the more he leans, the more this is going to turn into a diamond. So we got 1, 2, he's leaning, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So remember, this comes up, where did it go? This line is going to come up, and this is going to be your neck. That's going to be your neck. Now, coming here, still going to be, it's going to come up, it's still going to be your neck at the point here. Your neck basically starts just a little above your collarbone. So you're leaning, so you're going to have to start rounding that off at the back. And then your neck is going to come up, and your head is going to be right here. You see that. And your neck, collarbone. Now, as I say, the more he leans, the more of a V or a diamond shape that this will be, because you have this. Let's do this one. You have this right here already. So that's your shoulders. So it's just going to point more to a diamond, I guess, if you would say. So the more you lean, so if this guy, if you're looking straight down on this guy, it'll be like this. I didn't want to go that drastic right there. You'll have that diamond, that head will be here. You'll see, well, actually the neck will be here, so that point will be right on the neck. Then you'll see the chest, and then you will see those round delts like that. So this would be the chest. Unless he's fat, you wouldn't see any belly. You might see some leg, but then you would see, let's just say, just a little bit of leg, and his feet like that, and his arms would be down, depending on the arm. But I'm showing you this because when drawing a position, this is the first thing you need to do. So I think I covered everything that we need to do with this. Let's get to drawing. So, and I'm thinking, give me a second here. I don't want to pause it or cut it. I'm trying to think of, is there anything else before we get into it? So, new piece of paper. I'll just flip this over because this is not something that I'm going to keep. First thing you want to think about is when you do your character, how is he going to be positioned? Is your character going to be flying? Is he going to be standing there? Is he going to be sitting there? So that determines the position of your torso. Let's just say, okay, we'll just do an easy one. He's going to be standing right in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got that. We know how to put the head and we know how to put the neck. Take these lines off. We do your delts. From here, we're going to use anything below this. We're just going to use a long house, shall we say. Usually I'll do the waist, or the tuna can as I call it. I'm looking at my Alexa. I thought it lights up. I saw a video the other day about how Alexa listens to you and relays all that stuff to the government, but I thought she just lit up for 1 second. Anyway, okay, so anything below that we're going to do, and usually I'll try to do it at these center lines here, and then just go straight down. We're just going to use a long upside down house just to, so we're going to use this shape just to just to make it easier, because usually I'll put the belt, or the little tuna can as I call it, here, and then I'll put the hips, and then we go from there. So we're just going to eliminate that one part, and we're just going to use this long upside down house. And I call it an upside down house because that's one of the first things we learn how to draw, is a house like that. So you just flip this over like so, throw some legs in there, throw your stomach and your chest, and then you have your arms, and then you have your the hips, the waist. This is the waist, this is the hips. Okay. Back to what we're doing. I said we're just going to eliminate this little extra piece. So he's standing up. You have this, you have that. This is right. You know how to put the neck there. You know where the head goes. Now, this is the easy part or the hard part. It depends on what you see. So since he's standing here, we're just going to just put some legs here. I'm not going to do any muscles or any details. This is about you figuring out your action pose. Pretty simple, because you have the torso right. Now let's just say he's going to turn a little bit. So again, 1, he's turning this way. 2, 3, and he's not leaning down yet. 4. Now if this was down, you would bring this all the way down, but it's not, so it's got to stop. So that's why I say do the diamond if you have a diamond triangle, if you have a problem putting the U where you think it needs to go. So just that, and stop it at the line here. Don't bring it down, stop it right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from this point to where this goes with this same curve. 6, 7. All right, now you have this line here, your collarbone comes all the way off your body. It comes all the way off. Not way off here, but it just comes off of this circle, and then you want to put your delt, and it has to touch this line here and come out, and it comes out at an angle. Same thing with this, it comes out at an angle. It's got to ride this line here. It's got to come off. This is your collarbone. This is that little dip. I don't know what that's called. Collarbone, and then bring it all the way out. You can actually just keep and take it into that circle. Same thing here. Here's your end of your chest. Same thing there. Now, because you have that right, and this is your shoulder, this is what's left of your shoulder, your V is going to come right out at this point here to that, until it hits that. There's a V, yeah, and then straight up. And then, as I say, my chin usually hits this point. So if I do a head, it'd be like that. And then the head could be turned any direction you want. We'll get into that later. So from here, you want to, and I said to use it when straight down, I'll usually just use this and continue. Now, when you turn the person to the side, you have to bring that out. You can't do it straight down. You have to bring it out a little bit more. Now, that is going to be your judgment. If he's going to have a small waist or he's going to be large or whatever, but you're going to say like halfway between this and this, bring that out. And we're going to bring this all the way down now, straight down, because this is going to be the bottom of his crotch. As I said, we're just going to use the long house for now. Then you put the arms and the legs. Now, as I say, it determines on how your character is going to stand or be. This part is completely up to you, and this is what makes new positions. But I say there's no real new position, but it's up to you how you want to do it. So if I want to put the leg here, if I want to put the leg here next to it, if I want to put the leg here, if I want to put the arm down, if I want to put the arm out. And this is, like I say, it's the easy part because it's just cylinders. And I'll tell people over and over and over until I'm blue in the face, work on your shapes, work on your cylinders, because that's all this is. And these determine how powerful your position is along with the turn. This is not going to move. This is a solid piece. This piece is bone. This is basically a solid piece. It's bone underneath this. And it's only going to twist left, right, up, and down. That's it. The legs will go in every kind of different direction. Your arms will go in every kind of different direction. Your neck will twist your head. But this is going to stay stable. So whatever direction you go put it in, it's going to stay stable. So it's up to your arms and legs to determine your pose, or to determine how strong your pose is going to be. So let's do another one. And I'm going to have to make up poses because I'm not good at doing poses unless I have a reason. I mean, I can see the guy is running or something like that, but just to draw a pose is kind of hard for me to imagine. As I said, I'm a visual type person. I have to actually see a scene in order for me to actually draw it. Okay, so let's do one where the person is leaning forward a little bit. You're over. 1, 2, 3. He's going to be leaning. 4, 5. So the neck is going to be here. The head is going to be here. And when your person leans, this guy has no head. All right, when a person leans, the head, you're going to see more back, and that head is going to lean as well as in. And I'll do it with pen and without the pen. This is your diamond. So the neck is going to be here. The head is not going to be up here, way up here like that. Unless he's kind of like looking up, like he saw something in the air and he's looking up. But when you lean a character, the head more likely, it will lean as well into this because the chin is nowhere near his shoulder. But when you lean a person forward, or not necessarily lean them, when that camera angle goes above that person, his head, and all my pens are kind of like dying. I ordered new ones, but I haven't opened them yet. His head is going to go right into his shoulder like this. Or his shoulder is going to be somewhere behind his ears or near his ears. And that gives you that look of being from above. And as I said, I'm not really going to get into muscles here for this. I'm just trying to show you to do the torso. Once you get this torso shape right, and you're getting it, and you want more detail, just start saying, hey, please, I got it. I need to go to the next step. But this is for the first step. And as I say, so this guy's leaning forward, And then we're just going to do the long house, the tall house. Not too long, not too tall, because it throws your character off by having too much waist and too much hip. So then at this point, you say, the hard part is done. Now here comes the next hard part. How do I want those arms? Now, is he going to be just standing there like striking a pose? He's going to be like ready to attack. Usually when you lean forward, and he's not leaning, or you have an upper shot, but leaning forward means he's either going to fall or he's going to come toward you. He's going to attack you. He's about to come toward you. So the best part for me would be, or what I would do is probably, and I had this extra line here, lean his character back or put his arms back like this. So his elbow is going back, and then it's going to be his forearm like this. So you won't see the elbow, and then you do a fist. So you could do the same thing with this arm. Bring it back. Let me use my pen, my pencil again. Bring it back, and then cylinder again. Let's just bring it out like this, like that. So as I say, this is the hard part, easy part, because how do I want my character to stand? With the legs, you can have the legs straight down. He could be flying up. And as I said, it all depends on what you see your character doing. Or you can have this leg out, like he could be standing on a rock. This other leg could be out like this. I'm sorry it went off the page, but I'll make them small next time. So hopefully at this point you're getting the understanding of how to create action poses for your characters. So let's do a couple more. So we have, and as I say, it's hard for me to just draw a position. And let me check this camera, because this camera to me is kind of like blurring. So let me stop it and restart it again. All right, so let's do a couple poses. I'm trying to think of something that's just, but usually when I'm just drawing, I'll do my torso and I'll just throw arms and legs every which way until I can figure out something. So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we already have 6. So let's curve this around just because. And as I say, if it's more from the side, you can't really do it off of this line. This line can't come down. You can bring it down, but you just have to add a little bit more to it. So what is that? So this is my long house, like that. And then I would say, let's go. Yeah, and you can bring that neck, as I said, that neck does move. So depending on where you want to put your head, this is just, you're just playing around. So you do what you do. As long as you get this part, you're all right. So, and for those who don't say, where's the chest? The chest usually comes across here like this. I'm sorry, I did not add the chest. That should have been the last step, is adding the chest. But I'm hyped about getting this done. So doing this, the chest would come right across here. I don't bring mine straight. I kind of curve it, just like this whole body's curved around. I'll curve the chest a little bit. And at this point here, the chest comes up. My apologies, deeply apologize, because that's one of the main things about doing a torso is the chest. But I'll do it on all the next ones. I did it here. I just didn't do it on the other ones. All right, so now, as I say, the hard part. This is the hard part. What do I want to do? So let's just do this. You come off. There's the two delts here. So, and as I said, I'm not going to really worry about muscles. I'm just trying to figure out some, what do you call those? Some positions. What do you call them? I don't know, Brian. What do you call them? Some positions. And usually an action position is, usually you'll have your knees bent somehow, some way, because that's just how they do it. And as I said, I'm just playing around here to see what I can come up with, which is what you should be doing to get your action pose. And I guess for this one, something like this, I would have pulled them back a little bit more, and then put the neck up in the air maybe a little bit. Bring that back. So we had that, and you just do that. Something else. Let's just do something else along the lines of that. So we got this. 1, 2. what, say 3, 4, 5. And where these points come out, you got to know your arms are going to be coming out of here too. So it's good to do this, to add the circles, but playing around, you just know, oh, this is going to be the top of my arm here. It's going to come out here. So I don't know, let's just foreshorten or something like that. And of course, this arm is going to go back, maybe just a little bit, and then it comes out here. And he's leaning, so we're going to do that house again. We're going to bring this all the way around. So this line here, we're going to bring it around. This line here, we're going to bring it around too. And from the center line, that's where the point of your crotch is going to be. And remember, because you turn it to the side, you got to give it a little more. So bring that out a little more. And you can basically just disregard this line here. So coming out this way, I would say, and yes, it's a point at the top of the house, but you have to round it off. You have to have room for both legs. So just something like this. One leg. Now I could either have the foot all the way up here, or I could have the foot all the way up here. This is where you play around with stuff to see what better suits your character or what position you want to do. Now I can have the leg down like he's jumping. I can have the leg straight, like it's kind of like a serious jump or a serious fly. You can have the leg straight like this. You can have the leg bent. And again, once you have this down, the rest is just basically child's play. And this video is for you to determine how you want your character, how you want to draw your character. So, and I'm going to go a little faster now because you should have it down. So this is going to be more of, I'm going to put his head here into his shoulders. So you know he's leaning down. So this is going to be the V, diamond, V. This is going to be his chest. You know, his arm's going to come here and here. Let's just put one arm down here. Circle, one arm down here. You have your crotch and your waist, which you won't see too much because it's going back, just like, where did I do it? My cans. Just like this. And is this upside down? Yes, it is. Just like this. When you, thicker pen, the more top you see, the less bottom you'll see. So basically, if I could draw right with this marker in it, you know, it's going back. If this was a cylinder, right, and it's going back, it's going to narrow like that. The further it goes back, the more narrow it becomes. So same thing with the body. So this is going to narrow down here. So if my crotch is here, you're going to narrow down like that. And being bent, you won't see too much. So let's just say I put this hand on the ground. Bam. So I will bend these legs because it's more of a crotch position. So since this is up, this hand is going to go back and probably bend, or let's just do this. Let's put the delt here. And again, this is a standard position where you don't see the elbow going back and the arm just comes like this, because the elbow would be, again, it would be kind of like, or the bicep tricep would be behind this. You have this, your chest, your collarbone, your shoulders. So the tricep, bicep, tricep would probably be like way back here somewhere being covered. And then at that point, you have the other arm coming back. And as I said, this is typical comic book positioning, which I said there's not much new in comic books because we see the same thing. So we assume to ourselves, oh, that's cool, let's do that. You know, because if we do less, it won't be as dramatic. Whereas in the Japanese, and I'll do one just because there are more, they exaggerate the body more, like Spider-Man. You know, really no humans can really twist their bodies. Well, I'm not going to say that because there are some like Chinese acrobats that do that, but you can only twist the body so much before it becomes unrealistic. So if I was doing this, how would I put the legs? So I put maybe like one leg up here. This is the front of the leg. This is the knee, and this is the shin. and then maybe one back here somewhere, and then the foot would be back here. And as I said, so you have the crotch here, and you have the leg. So if I drew through that, you have this, and then there's a crotch here. So the leg would be kind of like this. And then there's the knee, and then this, and then the other part of the leg would be right here, coming back like that. And then you just have to, the one thing about doing a crouching position is, then if this hand is going to touch the ground here, let's just say if this hand is going to touch the ground, I don't want to draw it yet. This shoulder has to be twisted enough for this arm to reach here. Now you can have the hand up like this. How's that hand? Like that, and the fingers down on the ground. That gives you some extra room to play with if you don't have the palm on the ground like that. So, but this would have to be bent enough for that hand to reach that ground like that. Now, if it's not, you'd have to just bring this down a little bit more, bring this chest down a little bit more. Now, a couple more positions. As I say, hopefully you're getting the gist of what I'm trying to say. Drawing is easy. It's just a puzzle. It's putting that puzzle together. And that's why I'm doing this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's putting the puzzle together. 7. I'm sorry. I'm a fool. 7. Okay, now going from there, you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and this is going to be his waist, hips, waist, whatever it was. And then the house, I forgot my number, 18 or maybe 19 or something, but this is just one part. So you just have to follow those numbers, rewind that and look at it again. You'll see what I'm saying. Then legs, then arms, which are just cylinders, and you have a character, quick, easy, 2 times, go eat some bread. Now, let's think of another position. I don't know. Let's try to like a overhead stand. And with this one, the same way I did the cylinder, let's just say it's going to be this way. And I'm going to kind of avoid some of the numbers just because here, hands down, it might come out wrong, but because that head should have been back. And this is more of he's standing above you. That's a whole nother ball game right there. Whole nother ball game. Because that head should be here. Yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna get into that because that's a lot of foreshortening, and that's a lot of crimping up the body. Chest. Yeah, see that's a whole different story. We'll get into stuff like that later. Because it's a perspective thing. They have to fall on that same line, or it's going to be thrown off. That's more of a perspective thing. Right now, we're just trying to get the torso. So let's just make up a couple things. I don't know what. That's why I say I don't, and I should just be sketching, more and more and more, but I don't, because I don't do it because I don't like to draw something that I don't see, that I have no idea what I'm doing, shall we say. So once you get the torso done, let's say the rest is pretty simple. But when I do sketch, this is how I go about it. My what do you call that? The hips, and then You can either stretch the legs out for flight, and as I said, most times when you bend the knee, that makes it seem more actiony. Is that a word? Actiony? You know what I'm saying. So these hands could be straight out. And let me do this just because I'm supposed to have done this. And this turns here. It's just natural for me to do. So this hand could be back, coming down at the ready. This hand could be at any straight angle it wants to be, or it could be kind of like that. It could be blocking some bullets or something. So if I inked it, which I'm not supposed to do, like that, this comes there. You have your hips, your whatever this is. Whenever I try to name the body parts, I just get lost. You coming up here, here's my chin, my head, my neck, my shoulders, my little buttocks here, some leg, the other leg. And you notice how I always twist, because if you do it straight, it's just boring. Because when you have muscles, the muscles, and you bend the legs, your legs do not compress, but I guess you compress. They get wider, so just put a little curve there. And then, as I said, this guy could be like deflecting bullets or something. They could be shooting at him. He could just be deflecting. He could have like a shield or something. Captain America! You know, kind of like a, what do you call those things? Like electronic invisible shield, and it could be like bouncing off. And see, this is the part where when I start to think about situations, then I can really say to myself, okay, now I can curve this or do that, or now I could give this guy a sword or something like that. And no, it's not Wonder Woman. But if you did the female shape, it could be a Wonder Woman. And yeah, that's when my mind starts to race as a comic book artist, because I enjoy that like that. Enjoy that like that. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, that makes my mind race when I think about a position and do it. So I don't know what else. Let's do this. So I'm going to end this video in a second, because hopefully you guys got it. Lean it down. And the more actiony, the more this it's going to lean, the more the, see what I'm saying when I try to name these parts over and over again? This part right here is going to lean forward. So like if this cat wanted, I'll be doing the same thing. If he's running, let's just do this. If the cat is running, that's going to, and we'll go straight down with the thing. I'm not even going to name it anymore. Just straight down with the thing. And then that kind of run. You can have however you want the run to be. That leg could be up like this, just like that. This leg could be out like that. This leg could be up like so, depending on, is it a sprint, is it a run? But by doing this, torso, thank you, I remember now, then you will have it. 1, 2, 3. Remember, the arms are going to be at the top of this. So if they're bent, it's the arms. 4, 5, 6. Put the chest in last, because wherever this point is, that's what's going to turn, and that's what's going to determine the bottom of your delt. Like that. The top shoulder blade is the top of your delt. The bottom curve up of your chest is where the bottom of the delt is going to come. So if I did this and turns up at that line, this is the bottom of your delt. This collarbone here is going to come, and it's going to be basically the top of your delt, like that. And then if your delts are really muscular, you'll see them kind of come through like that. And then your arms tuck under there. If you watch my arm video, you'll know what I'm saying. I did an arm video, so go back and look for it. Because a lot of people will see the videos and say, man, that guy's good, and you subscribe. And I appreciate that. But then they'll write and say, can you do something on clothes or wrinkles? Or can you do something on feet? Or can you? And all that stuff is on my channel, which is the link is right here. The address is going to be either right here or right here. So go back to the channel and look. I have a lot of stuff on this. This is just the new stuff that I'm thinking about that I come up with to help you guys. But a lot of people say, one, I think it was a girl that said about clothes. I got that online. Somebody else said something about something. And I got all that online. A lot of it is like, I think I started this channel about 3 years ago. I think 3 years now. So some of the older stuff is basic, shall we say. I mean, it's helpful, but not as helpful as the new stuff, because as I continue to draw and as I get older and I meditate more on this stuff, I come out with better new ideas and better ways to show you. So the old stuff is good, but the new stuff is better. But if you go through the channel and you see something that you want, look at it and then say, oh, I saw that. Can you give me more detail on it? Like I did one on measuring in perspective. There's a couple of perspectives. The hand, I don't know if I have a face yet. But anyway, go and look on the channel and there are a lot more that you can do. So just because this video is getting a little long, let's just do one more. And I have no idea what that one will be. So just do some type of action position. Let's just do, he's going to lean, he's going to be lean, he's going to be roaring. You see what I'm saying? Kind of almost like the Wolverine, almost like that, but not quite. Well, if I give him claws, he would be. So, torso, 1, 2. How far is he going to be leaning over? About this much. 3. The more he leans over, the more of a diamond you're going to have. What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might say, how wide would I make that thing? 1, 2, 3. How wide would I make this? You don't want to have it small like that. Remember, this is his abs. His abs are going to go here, so you're not going to have no little baby abs like that. I would say if you split this in 3 parts, which it is, and if that's a square, I wouldn't take it from here to here like that. I would maybe move it in just a little bit from like here to there. So if I did this, 1, 2, 3, I wouldn't have it. These are my higher points. I'd have it about right here, like that. Give you a little bit left over. And then come down. And this is only from the front. Now, if I turn to the side, you can still do this, but just add some more waist to it. So we're doing this. Forgot what I was doing. 1, 2, 3, whatever. So at this point to this point, just as round as this, pretty much. So we have your neck, which is just a little above this. I'm not doing a what's name drawing. I'm just drawing. Okay, so here is your delts again. At the top of this, top of your delts, at the bottom is where your chest is going to go. Now, at this point, when you go high up like this one, when you go high, you have that diamond for your top of your shoulders and your head. Your delt's actually going to meet in the center like that. This is like as you go high. So the higher you go, the more diamond you see, the more further back that delt is going to go. I know you didn't understand that, but that's okay. So from this one, since that point is here and it's high up, that delt is going to be like this right there in the center. This one is going to come around and be kind of in the center. So what was I going to do? Okay, the cat was leaning again. So you have this, and as I say, you can bring it down like this, but because he's leaning, you're going to have to give him some waist. So I would say about, this is going to be his hips and then his crotch like that. Remember, this is going to be in the center. Another thing I forgot. So this won't be the last one. I'll just rush this one real quick, and then we'll just put the leg here. Put another leg here. And of course, you see how I'm twisting my legs? I'm turning my legs. It's not straight. The knee ends up here. This is the other part of the leg, and this is the foot here. So this one would probably go back like this as well. Maybe some shin and the foot here. And do I want to put the arms down or back? So let's just say I put the arms back like this, like he's like, yo, he's like about a 10 or something. And I put him out like this. And as I say, the arms are the hard part and it's the easy part. Arms and legs are the hard and the easy part. Again, maybe we'll just see just a little bit of bicep and then this like that. Fist, it could be claw, and the head. If I drop the head too much, he's looking down. If I have it too high, he's looking up. So you have to kind of play around where you want that head at, knowing that the neck is going to be here. That head has got to be somewhere, and then you put the eyes where you want to go. All right, so that was that. So what I said, I missed one part that I missed that was very important. Torso. 1, 2. Now, I'm just going to do this. Everything is not straight. You won't always have the pelvis, get out of here, it's a new word for you, straight on. Sometimes it'll twist, so you have to twist that line here. And most times it's action position. So remember that crotch is going to be at the bottom of that line. So you're going to have that house. That house is going to have to twist. And as I said, you can't always do it here. You got to go from the back. So this is going to be the front. So the crotch here is going to be facing me while this is turned out. So this is what you have to do. Bring it down, and then it starts to twist here after this point, because this point is stable. This point, where's the little dummy at again? You have the lines here. I'll mark up my dummy for y'all. You have this center line. You have that comes down, and you have this center line here too as well. And then this center line goes all the way center to the crotch like that. Now, when you twist this guy or your character, this is going to twist too. This line here is going to twist. That's kind of a bad example because this guy's not twisting right. Anyway, let me put the pins up. Maybe it'll be a little better. Anyway, when you twist that, this is going to twist as well. This line is going to twist, and it's going to go all the way into the crotch. Now, this thing, nobody can turn like that. You know, obviously, that's what I'm saying earlier, that you can't go too far. You can't do like anime and go too far, but you have to twist that line, and that goes down into the crotch. And that's the same thing with this. This is getting messy. Stuff is starting to slide. You have to twist like that. And this twist too, because this is your love handles, and it's going to twist into that crotch. And these are where your legs connect. So as you twist, how are you going to put the legs? Again, you're going to have to figure that out. Like that. You know, not necessarily like that, but how you going to put the legs? Okay, so you have those two. How you going to put the other ones? Is this going to be straight? Is it going to be bent? Is it going to be straight? Okay, so if it's straight, what is he doing? What's the position? Is this one going to be straight? If that's straight, that throws his balance off. Is it going to be in like this? Maybe he's running. Do the foot, Brian. Or this one could be in like this, like he's jumping. But anytime you give your character a twist, it makes the character better. It makes the action more action-y. There's my line. There's my word again. More action-y. So that will be the second part. Work on your twist. Your one, again, unless he's up. Let's do the other side for whatever reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chest is just a little above that. 7, and it curves here. So let's do another twist this way. So let's take this, and remember, don't twist the body too much because it's not Spider-Man. It's got to be believable. So this has got to come down. So this is the bottom. So you have your V. Yeah, that's a V. And it's got to, remember I said you can come down here, but you have to add more to the waist. Like that. And again, so this is where the imagination goes. What am I going to do to that? How am I going to twist that person? And anytime you twist like that, you're going to have that little pinch in you. Like if I twist my arm, you see that I have that little pinch. Same thing with the torso. When you twist it, you're going to have that little pinch, and this side is going to be more rounded. So, as I say, it's hard for me to do positions when I don't think about what I'm doing, but this is for you to go ahead and just play. Just do as much twisting as you can, and then just play with however you want to play with the leg. Now, doing this, if I do this, you're going to see some hip like that. Some of the hip is going to twist up. So if let's just say he was like sitting down or something, or sliding across the ground or whatever, I don't know, because it's hard for me to do positions, as I said, if I'm not thinking of something like that. So this is going to be in front. This is going to be behind. You'll see some pinching because right there you see that hip. The other one would be, and this could almost be like a karate kick, but he's twisted the wrong way. But just because sake of argument and time, let's just do that. Let's just say he's doing a little karate kind of kick there. Like that. And the foot would be turned in because it's a knife edge. And as I said, the martial arts a long time ago, it's called, this part of the foot right here is the part you kick with. You really don't kick with the heel. This is a knife edge that they call it. It's called. So yeah, the foot would be, it wouldn't be turned up like this. It would be twisted down to the side, but that's weird to draw. So yeah, however this would be right now, I don't see it right now. So practice your twists, your arms here. Let's just say one is up, the other is down like this, and his chest would be turned that way then for doing that, like that. There you go, there's your thing. Practice your twists. Center line, center line. Yeah. Practice your twists and how you want to. And you can also do leans as well. Be leans, but it's kind of hard to lean and twist at the same time. If you do, good luck, because you're finding some new positions that you're running into. But if you have this, the main thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, what is it, 5, 6, maybe I'm getting tired. Let's do this again. 1, 2, this is why I don't draw with a pen. This is why I draw with pencil. I could have lines and mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is a 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so if I bring this back, I'll bring this side back too, bring this back, got to give it a little more waist. This is the point, so you're just doing a longer house. Let's just say the neck is coming up, the head is back. He could have got blasted or something like that to that point that his head goes back way like that. Just put the arms back. If this guy got blasted, let's just say if he got blasted, he would have got blasted from the back. You can't get blasted from the front. And that's what I was looking at. Blasted from the front. So he's going to push him. So this leg would go back like that. No, that's a ballerina pose right there. It's like, no. So we don't want that. But I do want some leg like about right here. Like that. And then this foot here and this foot there. So this arm could go, I don't know, this arm would go back here. And then of course the expression, as I said, the most two important parts are the face, the hands, and then the torso, because the expression of the face and then expression of the hands are what makes the visual image more exciting. So if this guy got blasted, his hands would be open like that. And this is why I don't do my first rough with a pen to show like, I'm hit. So yeah. Twists and turns. I'm getting out of the and you can even have that. So we got the shoulder right here. And you notice how I always jump off the subject when I get excited because my brain is 2 sentences ahead of myself. That arm goes back, which you will always see this position where that arm is back. It just looks cool and it's part of comics. So yeah, like that. And again, expressions from the hand. And that's another thing you need to work on are your hands, because that's your main expression is your hand. One of your main expressions is your hands. So it's like that. And then of course the mouth. Is your main expression to the eyes. So if this guy got blasted, it'd be like that, Brian. If I got blasted, it would be like that. So in closing, if I drew this quickly, it would be like this. Shoulders are going behind this, your collarbone like that, because you're looking down. This one would kind of go behind it too. This one would be more round. My chest would be here, up like this, going into that delt. Yes, your lats, your stomach, like that. This would be that pinch. You're right there. Your buttocks would be here, so it would come into that. This, you can see a little bit of your waist, your hip right there, the leg. Going back, your calf is here, so I'm not going to draw through it. So then it'd be the foot here, the other leg, which is kind of short, but that's okay. The knee, the calf here. The foot is going to be right about here somewhere, and the other hand like that with the thumb. The thumb would be like that. So, in closing, work on your torso. And then life would be greater. I just stopped because I'm like trying to figure out this face. Yeah, so anyway, there you go. There you go. Oh, wait. We gotta have the blast. This is comics. So yeah, okay. So anyway, work on your torso with whatever I just showed you, because my mind is just like drained right now. It's depleted, not completed. This is completed. My brain is depleted. So yeah, work on that. Then guarantee you your drawings will start coming out better. So now you don't have to go in looking for somebody else's drawing to see what kind of position you need to do. Just work on your torso steps. Start adding twists. You can go straight lines, start adding twists, figure out how you want your legs, but you should figure out your pose first. And then you start drawing it. Just get a basic idea of how you want to pose it, and then how you want your person to be posed, whether he's going to be just standing straight up or running somewhere, or that's almost the same kind of pose, almost. But as I say, there are really no new poses out there unless you tweak around and come up with something brand new. So that's it for this video. I didn't mean it to be so long because it's probably about an hour long. But to get good information, to me, I would say knowledge is more important than skill. Anybody can draw, but everybody does not have the knowledge to know what to draw or how to draw it or why to draw it. So with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. Let's get that cool blast picture back again. Maybe I'll use this for my thumbnail. So anyway, see you guys on the next video. Peace. Happy New Year.